want to take you back about, I don't know, 30 years ago, around 1973. I remember one night when the window shook in my house and the Goodyear plant out on Interstate 10, about 10 or 12 miles down the road, blew up. And my dad, who was a physician, who was the emergency management coordinator for Jefferson County at the time, walked in and said, "I've got to go." He had to go to that refinery that had just gone up to save whoever he could save and help coordinate emergency response teams. Well, why do I bring that up to you when we're talking about cutting government? I think fundamentally we have to remember that some regulation is good. What we've got a problem with now is regulation has gotten out of control, and we have super legislatures within regulatory departments and agencies creating rules that our Congress never had a chance to look at, and that the people have no say in. We've got to fix that. Ronald Reagan proposed something called the line item veto. I think we need to reintroduce that concept, because I think we need to put the burden on the executive to cut the budgets where we in Congress can. And then I think we start from the ground up in budgeting for every agency and make them justify themselves, their budgets, and their programs, so that we can prioritize as the people of the United States acting through their representatives in Congress. Thank you very much. I'm J.L. I appreciate it.
I'm Bill Sargent. It's a whole lot better not going first. Here are the lists I give you. Department of Education, HUD, National Endowment for the Arts, National Public Radio, and part of the Energy Department. The reason I say part of the Energy Department is because there's a very important thing the Energy Department does, and I would take it out of energy and put it someplace else. That function is looking at the nuclear part of our export controls. We control exports for national security reasons, and part of that are things that can be used for nuclear weapons. That review comes out of the Department of Energy. So I would take that out of the Department of Energy and scrap the rest. The real issue, though, is, and what I would like to see happen, is have us elect a president who would come in and who would get rid of all the executive orders that have been done under the Obama administration. That would be a great start. It's not the legislative job, but the executive job. If we can get a president who will do that, that would be great. The other issue is, and has been mentioned before, is we need to sunset all programs. Now, if a bill comes before me or to authorize a program in a committee I'm on, I'm going to ask, does it pass the constitutional test? If it doesn't pass the constitutional test, I'm not going to vote for it. Next question is, what are the benefits versus what are the costs? If the benefits outweigh the cost, I might go for it. But I need to make that judgment based on what the benefit is. The bottom line is we need to stop the overhanded and overbearing regulation we see coming out of the federal government. Thank you. I'm Bill Sargent, and I'm running for Congress.
Michael Truncale. The first thing I must emphasize is that a balanced budget amendment to the United States Constitution will hold people's feet to the fire. We've done it in Texas. As a regent for the Texas State University system, we knew under our balanced budget requirement here in Texas that we had to reduce our expenses by 15%. We did it by prioritizing our mission. We did it by outsourcing to private industry. There are things that can be done more cheaply by private industry. And we modernized. Put something like that in effect, and you will have spending under control. We must have Congress get it to work. They're letting these agencies run wild. They just fund the money, they create regulations, they spend money without proper congressional oversight. So Congress has to get its job. And we must have a sunset commission, like we have here in Texas, to have these agencies come in and justify every item in their proposed budget, as well as every so many years justify their existence. Are they needed? Is there duplication? Is there waste? That is the way you get people accountable, and Congress has to be the force behind that. But you know what? Congress must set an example too. That's why we must no longer have earmarks. You know, earmarks is a form of institution. It's where one congressman scratches another congressman's back on your nickel, and that's not right. And in terms of agencies, I think we should abolish the Department of Education. I say that as a parent who raised children in this district. Education decisions should be made at the local level with teachers and parents. And besides, as a region, I didn't see one single thing that we got out of the Department of Education. So as a citizen taxpayer, I see no economic benefit to it. And the Department of Energy is not putting a drop of gasoline in your tank. And finally, the biggest spender yet is Obamacare, because that is going to cost us over $1 trillion, and it's going to create, yes, 111 new bureaucracies. Obamacare must be repealed. Those are 5 ways to get spending under control. Thank you.
I ask the candidates to please not touch the mic. Sorry it had to be you, Randy.
I don't think anybody will notice, Harv. All right. Gosh, I don't think the question is fair. Agencies that we want to get rid of, I'm trying to think of the ones I want to keep. The Department of Energy, EPA, the Department of Education, HUD, to name a few. In the state of Texas, I'm proud to tell you that when Governor Perry rejected the $550 million of the race to the top money from the Department of Education, I stood beside him at that press conference because the federal government wanted control of our curriculum. And we said no to the Department of Education. Department of Energy. I was in Washington, D.C. 3 years ago and heard with my own ears one of their undersecretaries say that the president believes that the way out of the economic doldrums, recession, if you will, is for his administration to create sustainable green energy markets. I can't believe it. They don't create anything. The Department of Energy has to go. EPA. I fought the EPA. I was there listening to the EPA in Washington on another conference. And one of their undersecretaries said that they want to permit farms with 200 head of cattle, horses, pigs, or goats, or sheep because of greenhouse gases and methane gas. And I'm like, oh my gosh, these people don't get it. In Texas, we have a sunset agency. Although John Gay said they wanted to see if the agencies were still producing anything after 12 years. Actually, those agencies don't produce anything. They regulate. They control. We need less control. Give it to the states. And let us be responsible for our own agencies, 10th Amendment. We have got to get a grip on this economy, get a grip on this government, less government, light on a budget. I would love to have a veto like President Reagan pushed for. We've got to get some control on this Congress, cut up their credit cards. Thank you very much.